All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. Welcome. Hopefully, everybody's doing well. Um, this is the first time I've gone live at 7 in quite some time, so I don't expect a lot of people to show up. But who does show up, we'll kick it and hang out for a bit. What's up, Miss Lachey? Good evening, Marcus in chat. Hope all is well. All is well, as can be expected. Hopefully, everybody's doing well. Sales, how are sales going for everybody? I don't really expect a whole lot of people to be doing all that great right now because for some reason eBay's kind of in the mud right now, but it is what it is. I'm thankful to have a whopping 3 sales going out right now. Pretty sure that's what it is. Let me double check. 3 sales, 5 sales, 5 sales for 115. I don't know when those other 2 came through, but hey, whatever, I'll take it. Definitely thankful. Let me send these offers. So this is a live Q&A, so whoever's got questions, I've got answers. So ask your questions in the chat. Hustle man, what's going on, bro? Hopefully you're doing well. So yeah, guys. Tuesdays used to be the night that I went live. Things have kind of changed here lately with the last few weeks. As I said in the last live stream, uh Tuesday nights just don't really work all that great for me anymore. But hey, I forgot to go live earlier, so I figured I'd go ahead and go live tonight. Try to provide some value for people because there's a lot of new people out there that's getting into this reselling game. They got questions, so I just want to be able to give everybody a fair chance to be able to get their questions answered. Because a lot of people have questions. A lot of people are jumping in this game. I really don't know if it's the best time to be joining the reselling community, but hey, if you've joined, I want to help you succeed. Mind and Body Co. What's going on? How you doing? Lisa, how you doing? B-Dub, my guy, what's going on? How's everybody doing? So earlier today, I did, I don't know, 40 listings. I did some hats. I got a bunch of hats and stuff that I finally got around to getting listed, and like 23 clothing items. Shipped out 10 items today for a total of $339. Some of those were big dollar items. One was a vintage Harley sweatshirt. It sold for like 56 bucks, and another one was a Guess jacket, jean jacket, sold for like 45 bucks. And so pretty decent ASP for the day yesterday for 10 items at least. So today, like I said earlier, is just 5 for 115. So not really all that great, but it is what it is. I'm good. Sold a $50 poster to a person in Germany. Hey, let's go. That's what's up. Gotta love those posters, man. Super, super light, easy to ship. You get the poster tubes, you ain't got nothing to worry about. So yeah, congratulations on that. Gotta love a $50 sale. Andy, what's going on, bro? How you doing? So I don't know about you guys, but is it slow where you're at? I know James, he's in the same state as I am, but he's been doing pretty good all day. So man, I don't know. People in the Patreon are talking about it's slow for them too. So that's why I was asking you guys. It seems, some people are doing good at all times and some people are doing bad at all times. And today's just one of those days where it's mediocre for me. So, I'm thankful regardless. It could have been a 0 sales day. So any day it's not is a dub. So if you guys have any questions, it'd be really great if you could ask them. So that way I'm just not on here running my mouth. Because I really don't have a bunch to say, honestly. So I guess I could show you guys what sold today so far. Try to provide some type of value. Let's see. How's Vendu been working out for you guys? So got 5 for 115. Got a Gulf Shores, Alabama shirt sold for 15. A Champion sweatshirt I took a best offer of $12 on. a Greg Norman shirt that I should have never listed. I got this from a storage buyout from a guy. um, sold for $5. LL Bean pants sold for $20, and some Joe's pants sold for $15 on a best offer. I would have had like 13 sales today if I would have accepted every offer that I got. I got a boatload of 50% off offers. I'm just not I'm not doing all that. Everybody else makes money on a 50% off offer except for me. So, and I mean, I make a couple of dollars, but it's not worth my time to just accept all offers just to be able to make some sales. At the end of the day, all my profit margin goes out the window if I just start accepting every offer that comes in. So it just makes no sense. Hustle Buck says it's really slow, but won't stop pushing. That's the proper mindset to have. Just continue grinding it out, man. Slow, but I've been doing pretty good. My other shops, one man, about $100 last month. That's what's up. $100 in the total month or $100 for, I mean, I don't know. I know you got two different stores and I don't remember the size of them, but I remember, one was like posters and like books and, you know, eclectic stuff, if you will. So I'm just glad you're making sales, period. William Elick says, how do you identify vintage stuff quickly while out thrifting? Is usually going to be to do with the tag, the look of it, the company, not the company, the place of manufacturer. So, like if it was made in USA, obviously most of that's going to be vintage unless it's something new that's like a new startup. A lot of those new companies start out being made in the US until they get a little bit of traction rolling and then they switch everything over to overseas. Paper tags are a good way to tell. A lot of the like satin tags nowadays are new or either iron on vinyl, like a press on. So like if you see a paper tag that says made in the USA, probably vintage. If you see a paper tag that's made in Mexico, probably vintage. Everything else from like after after Honduras and on to like Pakistan, Indonesia. Well, I can't say Indonesia because some of that Nike stuff is Y2K vintage. Turkey is Y2K vintage. But like Pakistan and Malaysia and stuff like that, those are more modern. Black tags for Nike is going to be modern. Blue tags, unless it's the blue tag with the pinwheel, it's going to be modern. White tags are going to be modern unless it's the made in USA or made in Mexico of USA components. Those are going to be vintage Y2K era. Um, if it's made in USA, it's vintage Nike like Y2K or 90s. I mean, Thomas Billing says single stitch. That's true. Single stitch on an item unless it's a new remake. A lot of like Hollister, Target was having some clothes like Universal Thread and things like that that were made to imitate vintage stuff because once the word got out that it was trending and it was popular again, that it was popular, they started making stuff modern with single stitch on it. Just like American Eagle and Universal Thread and things like that start making high waist mom jeans and stuff like that when it became popular. And I'm pretty sure they got some version of something baggy out there too. So a lot of it's going to do with a quick Google search, ahead of time to just start familiarizing yourself with vintage tags and understanding what is vintage by picking it up and then you've sold it as a vintage item before. So that way you know that this brand has this tag, this country and manufacturer, it's vintage, or this certain company made all of its items in the US until this year, and then it started moving over here to this part of the world in this set of decades. And you just get more familiar with it the more you do it. But Google is your best friend when it comes to identifying tags. So that way you could just have the knowledge and you don't have to, once you look it up, you don't forget it. Beat Up says, I noticed that an item sold on Poshmark and Vendu didn't delist it because there were still active offers on it. And it sold a couple of days later on eBay and I had to reach out to the buyer. Yeah, that sucks. That happens quite a bit. You got to go through and make sure that either A, Vendu is still connected to Poshmark and your other platforms. You got to make sure that there's no offers on it. So when you do sell an item, you got to go through and like double check and make sure that everything's ended. There is an option to filter by sold but still listed on Vendu. So you can see what's sold but it's still active because there's an offer out on it that you can go through and delete it. But I had an instance where I didn't check my Vendu for like a week, and I went in there and looked, and I had 115 or 180 something items that were sold but still listed because somehow Poshmark had gotten disconnected from Vendu, and I had to go back in there and reconnect it. But uh, no harm, no foul. Had to cancel a couple of Poshmark orders, but at the end of the day, I'd rather be on Poshmark than on eBay. $100 for January. Okay. So we push it to 150 for February. Doesn't really make sense, but it's sold on Posh because it's sold on Posh. That makes sense. Hey Bobby, what's going on? Finally found freedom. What's going on? I'm severely discounting your stuff, your inventory, I suppose. Why are you doing that? William says, thank you. Thank you. Great. I'm new to selling. I have 250 items listed. Also, can I get in trouble for being wrong and listing as vintage and it ends up being no, there's no vintage police. There's people that sell modern stuff as vintage all the time and it sells. Nobody's said anything. There was a member in my Patreon that sold a modern Deftones shirt as vintage for like $100 and nobody said anything. She didn't get a return on it either. So nobody's coming after you. It's not like a thing where eBay is going to be like, this is not vintage. INAD. You know what I mean? Now, a person can say that. They can say that, but I've never seen it. I've never seen anyone get an INAD for calling an item vintage that wasn't vintage. But it's easier to tell it than you think it is. Ms. Lachey says, after a few months on Posh, do you feel like you have a good handle on the platform? What sells well for you over there, etc.? No, not really. As of right now, I haven't really paid much attention to it. Not like that, honestly. I just know that I have more men's items listed over there than I do women's items, and a lot of stuff that I don't think would sell over there quickly sells over there. So I haven't had enough experience with it to where I'm like, oh, this is a Poshmark item. When I'm out sourcing, I don't have in my mind, oh, this item's great for Poshmark or this item's great for eBay. This item's great for Macari. I don't have that experience with those platforms yet because I haven't sold enough over there to be able to have that type of experience with it. Um, I did sell 2 items on Macari, uh, a vintage Hard Rock Cafe baseball cap and an Exertion puffer vest for like $20. Um, is it bad to revise the listing too many times? I mean, as long as you're not ending and selling similar, then you won't lose the traction on it. But it's not. I mean, you can't revise it. Why are you revising it multiple times? What's wrong with it to where it's not done right the first time? Try to not go in there and keep messing around with it because you want to be able to just do it right the first time. If you redo the listing, you're wasting your time. Now you're it's essentially like doing one listing 5 times, and now you could have listed 5 items instead of one. So you want to do it right the first time because you lose money every time you go back and work on a listing. Just saw this LOL have a class right now, but I'll stay in to up the view count. Can't listen. No, it's all good, bro. Just go ahead and do what you gotta do. No worries, you can catch it on the replay. Can you show what you are talking about to filter on Vendu where items are sold and still listed? Unless you're talking about the sold tab, because I know how to know. I'll show you. So you go to Vendu, sold but still listed. So you go to this filter section, advanced filters, and then let me just turn this off. Then I would click this button and scroll down, sold but still listed. Then you click on that. And I've got 66 that are sold but still listed. So you just go in here and it says where it's still listed at. It's still listed on Poshmark. So I'll click this button and say delist. And then I'll just go through here and do that with all of them until it all gets delisted. It's really quick. Now you'll see this item cannot be delisted. Please verify the listing URL. So you click on it, and then what you'll do is you'll go to the Poshmark form and see this visit view listing where it says listing URL right here. Click that. And if it's not listed on here because it's already sold, then you just go back to Vendu. You go to this Poshmark form, go go back, and then you select the delete button right here, and it'll delete that listing. Um, I don't track my items in Vendu, but if you do, it's going to delete this item from your analytics. I don't track my items in Vendu. I only use Vendu to cross list my items. I'm not tracking like I don't for instance, let me show you what I'm talking about. On a listing, see, I have it listed on eBay, I have it listed on Mercari, I have it listed on Poshmark, and I have it listed on Depop. This particular item is not filled out on Vendu. So the Vendu form might have stuff in here, but I haven't pressed save because I'm not tracking it on Vendu. I have a workbook, an accounting workbook that tracks all my data for me. So I don't need Vendu to do it for me. But if you choose to do it that way, by all means, it's very, very chock full of analytics and data, and you can really learn a lot from it. But I just don't use it because I have something else to track my numbers. ERH Designs. Hey Marcus, new sub to your channel, and it's nice to see a hardworking man that shares. Best to you and keep up the great content. That's awesome. Thank you. Really glad to provide value. Um, it gets um it gets a little, daunting at times, trying to do as much as I do in a day. But at the end of the day, man, I'm just really trying to provide as much value as I can for you guys. So I'm just thankful to be able to do it. My bad, sent before I was ready. I am leaving a lot of money on the table in order to snowballing money quickly. How many sales a day would you aim for until trying to leave less money on the table? It's not a matter of the items. I've done the item out the door method before, and that was losing me too much money, right? Um, Earlier in the year of last year, I started out 2023. I was selling about 25 to 35 items, give or take, and I was listing 33 a day. I was fine there. I should have just stayed there. Then I jumped up to 50 a day and I start trying to sell 50 a day. So I would accept all offers. So if I had an item listed for 15, someone sent me a $7 offer, I was accepting it. And I would do that with everything. And while my gross went up, my net wasn't climbing. I wasn't gaining any more money by selling more items. I was just moving units out the door. So I would really check your deposits that are going into your bank account. And if your gross is climbing, but you're not making more money and stacking money and putting money in the bank, then stop doing that. Don't do that. You want to be able to make the money off this stuff because this is an incredible opportunity to be able to grow your bank account. And if you're giving all your profit, that $7 that I was giving away or that $8 on a $15 item, that was all my profit. You know what I mean? So just because I sold it doesn't mean I made anything off it. So you don't want to do that too much. Moving items quickly does not equal more money. It doesn't. You're welcome, beat up. You had one. All right. Well, it's better than 66, bro. Bobby says, Marcus, do you happen to know? I just sold Newitt tags, Levi's silver tag carpenter jeans, tag marked 1998 for $40. Did I do okay? They were at Ben's fine. No, you tremendously undersold those. Should have sold those for like 80 bucks probably. But it's all good, for next time. You can sell used with stains and holes in them for 40. Hey Nikki, listening on the way home from work at Cracker Barrel. Drive safe. Don't text and drive. Thanks for that Vendu listing lesson. I had issues with the items not being delisted. Yeah, that happens to a lot of people. You just got to go in there and change something about the listing. So like go in there and change the size. You know what I mean? Then save or relist the item, and then after it's relisted, you can delist it. Struggling to find items fast at the bins. Did it take you a while to become proficient? Learning every day, but it seems these bins heads know so much more than me right now. I would say that I still pick at the same speed, but what I would do is I would load my cart up and then I would go find a corner and then sort through everything. Right. So whatever looked like it was good, whatever looked valuable or whatever looked cool, I would just throw it in my cart. Then once I filled my cart up, or I'd been picking for like an hour or hour and a half, I would go over to the wall, like where the windows were. I would hold the items up, look for stains, and then I look up comps on everything. And if it looked okay, I would keep it. If it didn't, I'd throw it back. And you do that for a year or two, you'll start not having to even look items up. And I don't look anything up at the bins anymore. I just throw it in my cart and I leave. Because I don't have time. I don't have time to be trying to look up comps. I need to spend the whole time there sourcing to find the best items that I can. Now, am I possibly leaving some items behind? 100%. I'm definitely leaving something on the table that I know nothing about. But you know, as I grow and as I continue to do this, I'll find something that looks cool and I'll grab it and I'll bring it home and then I'll list it and I'll be like, oh, wow, this sells for $75. Awesome. New brand. You know what I mean? But I'm also continuously looking up items inside the Patreon for people. People are sharing what their bolos are inside the Patreon. We have this long list of bolo brands in there, and every week something new gets added to it. So I'm always learning. I just don't have to look while I'm searching anymore. You'll get faster, trust me. You've only been doing this for a short amount of time. You'll get faster. You'll see more brands. You'll see, oh, this, I don't even need to look this up. Oh, I've sold this for 60 bucks before. I know I can get $25 for this t-shirt. I know I can sell this jacket for 40. I'm throwing it in the cart. You won't have to look it up anymore. Rennie Reselling. I think I pronounced that right. Good evening. I appreciate your content on both of your channels. Keep up the great work, Marcus, and thank you for all your dedication. 100% appreciate it. Thank you. Glad to have support from a lot of you guys. Watch both channels. That means a lot to me. Really appreciate the support, guys. Team Spirit says, true that. Yep. I don't know what you're saying that to, but it's probably true. Chicken wings, huh? Looks delicious. Currently reinvesting 100% of my profits. At what point do I stop growing? When I can draw 50% profits for income and 50% to maintain an inventory at, let's say, 10% of my current. So it depends. What's your listing goal? What's your store size that you want to have? So for me, I'm done growing. I'm at 9,100 items. If I grow, it's because I listed 20 and sold 18, or I listed 20 and sold 10. But I'm not in grow mode anymore. All last year, I was in grow mode. I was shooting for 14,000 listings because by the formula, for me to sell 50 items a day, I needed 14,000 items. Then I realized that that's all crap. And all I had to do was just have 50 great items going in my store a day. I would have been able to sell 50 great items. But after listing 90 a day for almost a whole year, I got burnt out. And I was like, I'm not doing this no more. So it depends on what your threshold is. If you want to get to 1,000 item store, once you get to 1,000, then you just coast. Um, don't don't increase the listing goal the following month. If you're doing 10 a day, you want to get to 1,000 listings. Once you get there, just continue to do 10 a day. Don't go up to 15, and then start take enough money to set aside to buy inventory. Don't go over that spend on inventory. If you know you need 140 items a week, don't buy more than 140 items a week. If you know you want to spend $1,000 on inventory a week, don't spend more than $1,000 of inventory on a week. Set aside the money for taxes, set aside the money for shipping supplies, all that stuff, and then whatever's left over, that's what you can start taking to do other things outside the business with. But hopefully, you're not like really counting on eBay money to live, because I'm telling you guys, it's tough when you're trying to survive off of eBay. When you're growing a store, when you're in full growth mode, man, there's no money left over. Like you said, you're investing 100% of your profits. So trying to do all that and pay your bills, it's tough. It's like very, very tough. I don't recommend anybody do that. 240 J's. I didn't see you in a while. Yo, what's good, man? Been a minute. Don't know if you remember me. Yes, I do. I quit a while back, but never quit. Just been listing like crazy. I'm up to 920 items and I still can't sell one a day. It's got to be, man. It's got to be the search. It's got to be the items. It's got to be your prices, your titles. Something's going on. There's no way, and I don't mean this is just directed towards you, but anyone. There's no way that someone has 920 items for sale and they're not selling one item a day. I say that, but there's a guy in my Discord right now with, I don't know how many items he's got, but he hasn't sold anything today. There's another guy in my Discord that's got 8,000 items. He's only sold 3 today. So I've got 9,100 and I've only sold 5. So there's there's weird stuff going on eBay right now. It could not be your fault at all, but it could 100% be your fault. Um, we'll have to get together at some point and try to figure out a way that I can help you. Brianna says, I work a 9 to 5 and currently doing reselling part time. I've only sold about 1,000 last year on Macari. Should I be receiving a tax form? Yeah, you should. If it's over 600, I think they're sending you a 1099. Um, I think I'm not a certified tax professional, and I didn't sell $600 or more on Macari last year, so I'm not getting one. What's up, Derek? How you doing, bro? Congrats on that video going super duper successful. It was at like 40K when I watched it. Uh, was it Young Thug? I thought it was Young Thug. Was it Young Thug? If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Derek bought a storage locker of some rapper in Atlanta. The only one I know that's locked up is Young Thug, so I think it was his. But congrats, man. The channel's grown super crazy from that video, man. Uh, Hustle Man says, notice there was a cost adjustment for $30. It said I put 92 ounces. Wow. And was adjusted to 16 pounds. Called FedEx. They said they charged me that way because I used a bag instead of a box on a backpack. What type of stuff is that, dude? That's ridiculous. That's why I don't use FedEx. FedEx will charge you, they'll charge you not only a lot of money, but they're going to charge you more than the counter rate. So, like, if you go in there and you don't pay FedEx what they're talking about on the label, it's crazy. It's crazy. Uh, don't use FedEx, man. It's probably not the best method. I sell a lot of jeans, more women's than men's. My return rate is about 4.5. Is that decent? That's getting a little high. You might want to slow down on the women's jeans because women return items more than men do. But I say that my return rate used to be about 2.5, but it's up to 3.4 right now. Due to the fact that I'm not like accepting all offers and I still get about the same amount of returns. So my return rate has gone up 1% because I'm still getting the same amount of offers and I'm selling like 2,000 items less every 90 days. So it kind of makes your return rate go up. Sell more items or stop selling as many women's items. And are you including measurements in the listings? It doesn't matter. They're not going to look, but at least you're covered. Um, Hello, Brianna. Here's another freaking return. Woohoo. Sheesh, man. This is getting out of control, guys. Too small. Doesn't fit. At least it's not an INAD. Speak of the freaking devil. Why we got to be talking about returns? This is all your fault, Team Spirits. I'm taking it out on you. But I did get an offer for $15 on some $25 H&M pants. This is the stuff I'm talking about, guys. But I do got to accept it because H&M is not a popular item. Yeah, it's at 86,000 views right now. Maybe it's him. Bro, you ain't going to tell me? That's crazy, man. Yeah, y'all go watch that video after this. You provided me with tons of great value so far. Thank you so much, brother. You're welcome. No problem, man. Thanks for the support, man. No problem, man. Gotta support my brother in Christ. Please look at my store, cuz, and let me know if I'm getting good clothes and my prices are good. The problem is I'm grabbing what's available to me. Are you not looking up comps when you buy this stuff? Because if you're not, that's your number one mistake. Look up comps. If you don't have enough experience, and I don't mean this towards you, I mean anybody. If you don't have enough experience to know that you've already sold the item, then I wouldn't pick it up without looking it up. I pick up the same stuff over and over again, over and over again. The only time I'm picking up something that I haven't looked up the comps on and I've never sold it before is if it looks like something I've sold before. So like if it's got a cool pattern on it, or if it like it's fitting what's in style right now, say faded glory, baggy vintage jeans. I'll pick those up without looking at them because I know that they sell right now. Faded glory is not something you want to pick a bunch of it up though, especially if you don't know if it sells. So definitely look everything up. Don't buy anything without looking it up. Please don't do that. For to catch another live. It's been a minute since I've done a Tuesday night one. Wayne says I have about 85 listed items on eBay and sold 3 items back to back today. Is there really an algorithm? As you stated a few minutes ago, you have 91 listed and only sold. Yes, there's really an algorithm. It's called Cassini. Um, It's just that's what searches or lines up the search with the items. So yeah, um, congratulations on three sales with 85 listed. That's a really great sell through. I use my phone, but for some reason, all my pictures look like different. Oh, yeah, you're preaching to the choir, bud. I got a return the other day for an item that the lady was like, "This isn't the shirt that was in the." I want the gray shirt that was in the listing, and I'm like, "This is the shirt that was in the listing." She's like, "This one looks more pink." I don't know what to tell you, lady. I just gave her a refund. I'm like, I'm not even messing with this lady. I don't want no trouble. I'll need to get your number, man, and call you. I don't do social media. I can pay you for our convo, Venmo, whatever, but I need to figure out what's going on. Yeah, I don't do social media either. You can message me on Instagram and we can go from there. I do have a private client that I talk to on Instagram and she pays me on PayPal. You don't have to join the Patreon. Um, we can we can work out a deal. I'll definitely help you out though. I do only things that I've never I do only on things that I've never sold before. You look up things you never sold before. As long as you're not just throwing stuff in your store, bro. That's what matters. Chaps, denim. Yep, I'll accept. So I'm up to about 7 items sold right now. Hi Marie, how you doing? Thanks for the info. Thanks for watching. My phone's going crazy over here, guys. I was thinking about sell through. If I'm listing 80 items a day, in theory, and I'm only selling 40, should I just throw 30% off with the store of 10,000 listings? So 30% might be a little bit extra. I don't think you need to go that high. I do 20% off on my store. I don't list 80 items a day, but when I was doing 90 a day, I was doing 20%. Um, I think you'll be fine with 20%. Uh, just make sure that the 80 a day that you're listing are not crap items. That was my problem. I was listing 90 a day and I was just throwing anything in the store. It didn't matter. Like I knew that it would sell eventually. But don't do that. Don't let that be the method. If you're listing 80 items a day, make sure it's 80 quality items. That way you won't need a 30% off. Big fan. Thanks a lot for your advice. No problem. I try to pick up the same stuff, but the stuff I'm grabbing might not be good as I think, even though I sold it a few times. That happens a lot. Just because you've sold, just because I've sold Ann Taylor Loft doesn't mean I should keep picking it up. Just because I sold Old Navy t-shirts doesn't mean I should pick them up. Just because I've sold Old Navy button-up shirts doesn't mean I should pick them up anymore. You know what I mean? But you just got to learn what sells in certain brands that is worth it, and what sells in those brands that's not worth it. What's up, Claire? How you doing? Mr. Guyman Jr., hello. I sell about 80 on eBay and 20 on I sell about 80 on eBay and 20-ish on if that on Posh. List 7 a day, dropped it down from 10 a day. So you sell 80 what in a month or in a week? Um, that's not bad if it's 80 in a week. Oh, a month. Okay. What's up, Key? What's going on with you? How you doing? Um, And so how many do you have in your store? Hmm. Let's see. So if you're selling 80 a month, you're listing 7 a day. You at least want to be selling 4 to 5 a day if you're listing 7 a day. Um, now it's not gonna be all the time, but in general, you want to at least be selling half of what you list. Now, me on most days, I'm selling what I list. Between all the platforms, I sell more than what I list on most days. Now, it's not to say every day. Like yesterday, I sold 10 on eBay and 2 on Macari, one on Poshmark. So, what's that? 13 going out the door. So, I net 7 items in my store. It's not like that every day. Some days I sell 25, some days I sell 26, some days I sell exactly 20. Um, so, it really just depends on what items are being found that day. Like that guy earlier said, he's got 85 items and he sold 3. Some days I'm selling a crap ton of items. You know what I mean? It just depends on what items are being found. There's a guy that asked about I don't know, Adriana something or another jacket, and he couldn't find any comps on it. I looked it up and I found 200 comps on it. He's like, I don't know how you found 200 listings and I found none. It just depends on what the algorithm's showing people that day. You know what I mean? Like your search could be totally different search results than mine if you look the same item up, so we can't really control what the algorithm is showing people. Um, Last month I did 92 on eBay, record month for me. So you're not doing as bad as you say you are. That's still a 10% sell through. You said you got 920 items. That's great. You're not doing all that bad. You got to give yourself some credit, man. Uh, you know, you still need to sell more than that if you're trying to make money, but don't be so hard on yourself. What's up, Laura? Hello, best offer versus low to high still looks broken to me. Somebody else said that low to high look broken for them too. They looked their item up on best match, they popped up. When they filtered the search from low to high, their items disappeared. This isn't something we can control. The eBay's broken right now, guys. There's a lot of stuff going on that we have no control over, and they're aware of it. Calling them won't do anything to fix it. So we kind of just got to tough it out. Um, what's up, Nita? How you doing? George's best. Good evening. What's going on, bro? I wish I sold one today for $9 first sell in 2 days. Are you getting any offers? Do you only source from the bins? Yes, only from the bins. I was getting a person to buy stuff for me. She would get it from the bins and then like local flea markets and stuff in St. Louis, but she jumped off a cliff. I don't know where she's at. So haven't used her in quite some time. Can I list it and forget it on Poshmark? No, you got to share. You have to share and send offers on Poshmark. And then they encourage you to delist items after about 90 days, which I don't. Nope. You got to share on Posh. Yep. There's no set it and forget it with anything anymore. You got to have like a bot running in the background, sharing listings on there and everything. I mean, you could list it and forget it on eBay. It's not the most optimal way to do things. It's what I do, but only because I have my store listed on different platforms and I got my items listed in sequential order and date based. I can't, there's no end and D list for me. I'm not wasting my time with that. Not to be mean, but is there, well, that sounds like you're getting ready to say something mean. Not to be mean, but is there a way to not sell to certain states? I got to sell from, yeah, I got to sell from Hawaii. The shipping, yeah, that happens. Was way more than. Don't cancel the order. Don't do that. That's bad business. I'll show you how to do that though. So if you go to your shipping settings, shipping preferences, I mean, um, let's see. Go to account settings. Then you'll go to your shipping preferences right here, and then you can exclude places you don't want to ship to. So let's see, exclude shipping locations. So then you could press this edit button right here, and then you can add everywhere you don't want to ship to. And then you can do the same thing for the foreign countries that you don't want to ship to. So if you don't want to ship to Russia or you don't want to ship to Germany, you could exclude all those locations. But yeah, man, don't cancel orders after somebody's bought it because that hurts you and the buyer can leave negative feedback. Um, And what what was the error to where the item costs more for you? Like, were you charging shipping or were you doing free shipping? Because no matter what the shipping charge was, the buyer should have paid it. So it shouldn't have mattered to you how much it costed. It should have been covered. This month, very little offers. I have a $70 item. They offered 35. Yeah, that's standard practice now. I counted 10% off, no bite as of yet. I might be a little high, but I've seen the same shirt for a lot of 50% offers too. Yeah, that's the general consensus for my store right now. Every offer is 50% off. It doesn't matter what I have the item listed for. I'd rather not make a sale if I give it away unless it's an old item. Same here. Um, I'm not giving away all my profit. How many hours of sleep do you get at night? I feel like you got a lot going on, just trying to figure out how you get it all done. I sleep about 7 hours a night. I go to bed about 10:30 and I wake up at 5 in the morning. So what's that, like 6.5 hours? So I get enough. I get enough rest. And if I need to, I'll take a nap during the day, like an old man. Um, I'm just real strategic with my time. You got to schedule things. If you don't schedule your day out, like I could rattle my day off to you now. I wake up at 5 in the morning. I pray for a half an hour. 5:30, I read my Bible till 6. At 6 o'clock, I list my items till 6:15. 6:15, I start tinkering around on YouTube Studio and whatever answering customer service and things like that I have to do on eBay. At 7 o'clock, I go live on Patreon. At 8 o'clock, I get off Patreon. I get in the shower. I get out of the shower at 8:30. By 9:30, I'm like getting all my stuff ready and out the door. I'm at my storage by 10 o'clock. I'm filming a video if I have to on that day. And then by 11:30, I'm at the post office. By then, I'm back and I'm done taking all my photos, doing all my eBay work, done by 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock to 3:30ish, 3:40, I'm writing a script for my other YouTube channel. By 3:45, I'm in the car driving to the gym. At 6 o'clock, I'm done with the gym and I'm either back home working on my YouTube video again, drinking a protein shake, or I'm on a Patreon call, or I'm at church, or I'm on YouTube. That's it. The rest of from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, 10:30, I'm working on YouTube. Same thing every day. eBay said have to wait for a month for to get Google search. I never end items in D list. eBay said I have to wait after a month for it to get it Google search. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. Are you talking about like the Google like offsite ads search? Is that what you mean? By the way, guys, I did that too. Offsite ads. I'll show you guys that in a second. Spruced and gussied. Hi Marcus, first time catching one of your lives. Thanks for all the valuable info you share with us. Thank you for watching. Another question, Dixon. How about if I grow into a bigger store, maybe 20,000 and keep listing 80, will the sales catch up? No, don't do that. Don't don't try to list into success. That's you're going to be hurting the whole time. That's what I tried to do. I tried to just grow and grow and grow. Hopefully the sales will catch up. You just need to focus on listing good items. That's all you need to do. That's literally the secret to success on eBay is list stuff people want to buy. Boom. Drops mic. We can all go home now. Just list items stuff people want to buy. If we're listing stuff that nobody wants to buy, I could list these 3 water bottle lids. Nobody's going to buy them, but I listed 3 items today. You know what I mean? So like just make sure what you're listing is good stuff. Nobody's going to buy your Ann Taylor loft top. Don't list it. Too true. People are really lowballing on all platforms. It's a beautiful thing when they just pay full price. It is when they just flat out pay for it. Exactly. Okay, thanks, Marcus. Going to change it now. It was for a men's wallet listed for 15 and the shipping was like $20+. Yeah, but did you have free shipping on? That's the thing I was asking. Never do free shipping, guys, for reasons just like this. I did free shipping on a cash register. Somebody in Guam bought that thing and it cost me $70 of my money that I was going to make off it. You best believe I learned real freaking quick that it's not worth it to do free shipping. My brother sold a high chair. And I don't know what he was thinking, man, but by the time he packaged the item up in this gigantic box, it was $50 more than what the buyer paid for shipping. And I was like, bro, you messed up. He's like, oh man, what do I do? And I'm like, either you ship it out or you cancel the order. He's like, I'm canceling the order. And I was like, that's not good business, bro. So he canceled the order and started a new eBay account. I'm like, that's not the way to go about doing eBay. You know what I mean? But it was like his first week on eBay. He had no clue what he was doing, and I had just started at the time too. So, we were all learning together. Laura says, yeah, I do the noon time catnap and still always feel drained. Yeah, but you have like an autoimmune disease or something too, don't you? That probably makes you tired. Um, no, Google will put your items in the search after a month on eBay. Okay, well, I thought they were done totally listing on Google unless you paid now. Even though I haven't commented, man, I've been listening, never left you. I even watched your daytime lives when you did them. believe 2. Yeah, it was 2. Yeah, you my boy, and I try to pay you back by watching, man. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. That's pretty awesome. I know that, sometimes the videos get a little bit redundant because there's not really much to say on a day-to-day basis, guys. eBay changes, but the way to do it, there's not very much variables to where I can talk about something interesting on a daily basis. So that's why the questions in the comments helps the content stay fresh. The motto to my sourcing is give the people what they want. Yep, pretty much. Yeah. Yes, no free shipping. 100% no free shipping. Yep. Lesson learned, shipping charges on everything. Yeah, man, I'm sorry that you had to learn that way, but that's the thing with eBay. We all have to learn hard lessons. Because someone can tell you not to do it, but until you learn for yourself or you see for yourself and you're like, okay, that's why they said not to do that, then you won't. Some people need to learn the hard way. And I'm not picking on you, Wayne. I learned a couple of hard lessons myself. Unfortunately. But that's the thing about a person with wisdom. A wise person will see someone else make a mistake and just take their word for it. You know what I mean? So, hopefully you don't have any more hard lessons to learn. My first eBay sale, I lost money, but sometimes you just got to take the L. 100% teaches you not to do it again. Yes, ulcerative colitis. Darn this disease, huh? But I'll pray for you. Shipping can definitely be tricky when you're new. Best to do calculated shipping with the correct weight and measurements until you know better. I agree with that. I agree with that definitely. So especially when you're getting started out, you want to put the weight, like she said, and general, like if you don't have the items packed up, at least put the measurements in the listing of an item, the box size that would fit that item with give or 2 to 4 inches around that item. Because if it's something that can break, you want to leave room for bubble wrap and packing paper and things like that. And then always oversize the item. And then you usually end up being covered on everything. In my experience. Then you figure out, I don't want to ship big items. I'm only going to sell clothing and I can charge a flat fee of $8.95 for shipping. Makes things much simpler, I promise you. Nikki says, take a nap like an old man, LOL. They are pretty sweet when needed. You take a nap every day, Nikki. Yeah. So, you know about the nap life. I don't get to take them as often as I'd like to. I usually take them on like Thursday because I get up at 4:30 Thursday to go to church early in the morning. Those days I kind of need a power nap. But, most of the time I try to tough it out because I'm one of those people. If I take a nap during the daytime, I'm powered up. Like 20-minute, 30-minute nap, I'm good. And so I'll end up staying up later. So I try to not sleep during the daytime. Because then I take like pre-workout at like 5 o'clock, and if I take it any later than that, I'm up all night long. So yeah, anybody got any more questions? We got 12 minutes left. 72 people in here. That's pretty good turnout for a random Tuesday night live. Hopefully you guys smash the like button. It might make you make a sale. Who knows? Let's see. Buyer paid. Sweet. Let's go. So I've sold a few items since we've been on here. Maybe you guys have sold a few too. What am I up to? 7 items. So I've only sold 2 items for $157 so far. I'll take it. It's better than nothing. Um, what's your guys' best seller of the day? So let's see here. If I take a nap, I'm running for the rest of the day. Yeah, that happens to a lot of people. I sell mostly vintage clothing and hard goods. Dang it, man. I dropped my screw I was playing with. I sell mostly vintage clothing and hard goods and health and beauty. And let me tell you, the hard goods can bring good money, but they are, yep, PITA to store and ship, being way more careful with the hard goods. And that's one of the main reasons why I got out of hard goods. They were a pain to store and ship. I needed random boxes laying around, bubble wrap. Me and my ex were selling on eBay, so If she needed bubble wrap and I needed bubble wrap and there was only a little bit of bubble wrap, I had to go buy some at Home Depot, and that's like 25 bucks for like a fourth of what you can get from American Bubble Boy for the twice the price. You got to have tape on deck, you got to have packing pepper on deck, and all that stuff adds up. And then, not to mention, it takes up way more space than it does for clothing. For me to have 10,000 clothing items in the space that I have, it would require me to have like 12 of those to keep 10,000 hard goods in there. So it just works best for me. So you got to do what works good for you. But like I said in the last video, I find clothing items that sell for over $100 all the time. So I don't have to sell hard goods to get high ASP. Just got to find the right clothing. If you have time tonight and want to take a peek at the store before you go, I'm here. If not, it's all Gucci. I just need to know if it's my items or my prices. That's the biggest thing I need to know. It won't be tonight. I still got work I got to do tonight. But if you message me, we can set something up for tomorrow. So get a hold of me and then we'll line something up for tomorrow. Tomorrow morning around like 9 or 10, I can holler at you. Nothing today. Dang, that's tough. Yeah, there you go. Optimism. $8.95 flat fee and batching photos to computers saves me 4 to 5 times the amount of time. It's amazing. My new motto is make it make sense. There you go. Nothing on eBay. Haven't had a sale in like 2 days, but just started on Facebook Marketplace. Made a sale in my first 24 hours. Going to focus a bit more on local selling. I need to put a light box on Facebook Marketplace. I was so hyped to see you on live. I'm always up for free education. There you go, guys. So Dixon, why won't you go to 30,000 to 50,000 dollars on eBay? Don't people become rich with that amount? You can become rich with 10,000. You just got to have 10,000 of high ASP items. But I mean, me personally, 30,000 to 50,000 items a day is a lot of work, right? So more than one person's worth of work, right? So I can do 30,000 if I got 3 employees, or if I have people bringing me inventory, so that way I could just focus on listing all day. I can do it that way. Or if I was like James working 12 hours a day, I can do it that way. But then where's your quality of life? When do you have time for anything else? And if that's your goal, by all means go ahead. But I felt like I was making eBay my idol. Like I was putting eBay before God and everything. And that's not okay. I'm a Christian. Nothing comes before God. Nothing. Now my work comes last in the spectrum. It's God. And then if I was married, it'd be my wife. If I had children, it would be my kids. And then comes work. You know what I mean? So like work is the least important thing of all, right? And I know it sounds ridiculous, but at the end of the day, the flowers don't worry about what they're going to wear and the birds don't worry about what they're going to eat. So neither should I. God will provide. So my days not consisted around like working thousands of hours on eBay. I get bubble wrap local for the price of American Bubble Boy. Really? What's your scoop? How you doing that? Do you think it's worth sitting on stuff like Tommy Hilfiger or just take the lowball offer? Get it out of there. Unless it's vintage Tommy, like certain items do sell for good money. Like if you guys watched Tech and Sports' video the other day, he picked up that Tommy Hilfiger shooting shirt, but it's got to be like the shooting shirt that's got like the leather patch on the shoulder. If it's not one of those, probably just best to take the offer and get it out of there and just don't pick it up. You know what I mean? Um, it won't gain value in the future. Time has had its time. It's come back and it's gone again already. So there's certain Tommy items that are worth it. But during 2020 was when Tommy was popping. Like when it was like, oh wow, I can't believe Tommy's selling like this again. It's already came and gone again. So I wouldn't really pick any of it up right now unless it's like a crew neck that's got like a big spell out or the flag logo or it's vintage. It's not worth picking up, honestly. Very, very few Tommy items are worth picking up. I don't know where these freaking dogs are coming from. We can't even have pets here. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's dogs out there going crazy. Sold a couple of gun cases. Listing was $59. They offered me 29. I counted with 50 and they took it. Still learning how to barter. They're just doing that to see how low they can get you. I had someone offer me $5. I declined it. They offered me 10. I accepted. And I had somebody offer me, I don't know, it was like $40 on a $60 item. No, It wasn't 40. They sent me a $20 offer. I think I counted with 40 and then they accepted. So like people are just really like trying to just throw random numbers out there to see if they can get you to just take a sell out of desperation. Um, I think a lot of people are sellers and they know that eBay's weird right now. So they're coming to eBay to try and catch people that are desperate to just give their items away. And sometimes they win, sometimes they don't. If Johnny went to the bins and bought 222 items, here we go with this. The train leaves the station at 6 p.m. type of question. Or if Johnny went to the bins and bought 222 items at $1.89 per pound, but Susie stole 10 items while Johnny wasn't looking, and one item fell out of the cart. How many items did Johnny have? LOL. So yeah, that's what I pay pound for my items at the bins. 222 items is definitely that's a good listing goal, healthy listing goal. How did you end up with Chris's inventory system and not Tex? I didn't have the space for Tex. Tex got a wide open warehouse. I had one storage unit when I first started that I was sharing with my girlfriend. So wasn't no room for all that. And I wasn't doing clothes then either. I was doing hard goods when I first started out. I wasn't always a clothing seller. I hated doing clothing and I wouldn't pick it up. But after a while, I started picking up clothing because I was in a shoe seller group, and the guy that ran the group for selling the sneakers, and the other guy that was in there, they were selling clothing on eBay, and they would thrift and all that stuff. So I was like, well, I can't get enough hype sneakers, so maybe I'll start trying to look up clothing. And they was like, that's what you should do. That's where you're going to make your money at. And they were right. And so I ended up starting to buy clothing, and um, over time Hargas and all that stuff like that just start taking up too much space. So I just started to buy shelves and the box system like Chris did because I didn't have enough space to put racks in it. And Tech had always said that Chris could store more items in his inventory system, but it took more work to store those items. So since I had one storage unit, I was like, I gotta max this thing out. And so that's how I got into the system I'm using. And I'm 10,000 items or 9,100 items in. So I'm kind of stuck with it. Better to have less items that sell for more. I've learned this the hard way. 100%. Hey, bro, hope your day is going good. Quick question. Do you wash all the clothes you buy when you get home before selling? Yeah, I pay my mom to wash them all. Back to Tuesday nights. Now, no, it's a fluke. I forgot to go live earlier, so I'm here providing value. Deanna Park says, Amen. Praise God. God will provide. And yes, He will. I have about 500 clothing items to photograph and about 18 boxes of glass goblets I got to photograph. That does not sound like a good time. The clothing, I would just knock out the box, but I don't know nothing of glass goblets. A huge store size doesn't necessarily equal more sales. There are plenty of them out there on eBay. Yeah, there's a lot of big stores that aren't selling. I just era at Dixon's Pickens, no dog. You don't hear the dog. Okay, good deal. I thrifted at Goodwill and finding a lot of new items. Just purchased some Cutco utensils for $8.99. Yep, good item. Congratulations. I sold a pair of Care Bear tights tonight. Hey, let's go. They're hoping you're desperate. Yeah, 100%. Puppies. I love the big dogs, not the small yippers. I like them all. I just love dogs. I like dogs way more than cats. I'm not really a cat guy. The bins in Los Angeles, like 350. Wow. They're getting high, ain't they? Everything's high out there, though. Wow. I've never went to the bins. I pictured it being a mad dash Black Friday. Has it ever been a problem with people? That is how the bins is when it first opens. It's like a, you know, tickle me Elmo feast. Everybody's just running towards the bins, but it's never been, I've never really had a problem. But I also don't look like I'm not a nice looking person. I am nice, but I don't look nice. So, you know, this lady I met at the bins yesterday said she sold her house and moved to St. Louis because of me and James. She's like, I see you guys come to this Benz all the time. She sold her house, quit her job, and moved just to be able to source at that Benz. That's extreme. That's dedication right there. So she's moved up to around the area and she came there sourcing on Monday. She's like, I came up here because I knew you'd be here. So was nice to meet her. I forgot her name. I think it was Valerie. If that's not your name and you're watching, I'm sorry. I'm very bad at names, but I remember your face. But so like, yeah, I tell people all the time, like, I don't look nice, but if you see me out and you watch my content, introduce yourself. Like, I'm always happy to meet subscribers. Um, but yeah, the bins can be crazy, but just don't be a pushover. If you're a pushover in life, you'll be a pushover at the bins. Just don't let nobody debo you, man. What's a good ration in selling 44 to 60? Selling 44, listing 60? If you're listing 60, if you're selling over 30, you're doing good. You want to sell at least half. If you can't get to selling, what you list, you can just selling at least half means you're doing good. Keep hearing mixed things about picking up Eddie Bauer. Is that a brand you pick up? Yeah, I pick it up, but I don't pick up all Eddie Bauer. You got to pick up the right stuff. Most of it's not good. When is a good time to delist an item? After how many days should I donate to Goodwill? I've never delisted an item. Well, actually, I can't say that. I delisted an item before I start taking eBay seriously. Since then, I started doing the inventory system I have. I haven't delisted an item in over 2 years. I haven't donated an item in over 2 years. If it's listed, it's gonna list and it's gonna stay listed until it sells. That's just me personally. You can take the items down after a year if you want to, but I'm still selling items that I listed 2 years ago, so they'll eventually sell. Um, I don't delist items, so I don't have any information on that. Do you need to worry about moisture in the basement? Any issues with mildew? I've never had an issue with any of my items being stored anywhere. Um, didn't matter where I was storing it at. I think being in the bags, and I live in Missouri, so it's not like really bad. Um, it's not really bad weather. If I was like in an outdoor, like climate controlled storage unit, then I'd probably have problems. But the basement, it's fine. There's like those, what are those things called? Where you sit them around and it soaks up the moisture inside of like a little container. I can't remember the name of it. Those are all over that basement. Vintage Eddie Bauer is good, and the down puffer vests are okay. Vintage sweatshirts are good too. Caleb sells a ton of Eddie Bauer. Just use your elbows at the bins, you'll be fine. Yeah. People get all up in your space, just run over their foot with a cart. They'll stay away from you. So yeah. Well, guys, I'm past the time limit, 2 minutes past. So I appreciate everybody's presence tonight. You guys are awesome. Hopefully you guys have a good night. I see you pick up a lot of hoodies. Any type of hoodie you won't pick up. Yeah. One that won't sell. You gotta look the sell through up. I only pick up a lot of hoodies because I've sold them before. So you just get used to what you're. No, I'm not thinking of a dehumidifier. I'm thinking of like these little things that they're not even electric. It's just like a plastic. What's these things called, man? They suck up moisture. Can't think of it. These things right here, damp red. Let me share my screen. These things, damp red. These are all over the basement. These things right here, and it sucks up the moisture in the basement. And you just throw them away when they get full. So, it's not a dehumidifier. Dixon's, Pickens, all Z will. Hey, Rhiannon. Thanks, Marcus. God bless. Thanks. Yeah. So any hoodie that I pick up, it's because I've sold it already before. So just do your comp research and you'll find out what's worth you continuing to pick up. Not all hoodies are worth picking up. Not all t-shirts are worth picking up. Not all jeans are worth picking up. But those are my top 3 categories. So I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. What's the gram name? It's Dixon's Pickens everywhere, bro. Everywhere. Unfortunately, I need to change my eBay store, but I'm already that, unfortunately. So yeah. All right, guys. Catch you later.